Mario, once again, October 5th, 2025, continuing with this talk on motors. This is going to be part two. So I was saying in my first part of this segment here on motors, these are some of the motors that were employed on some of these sub-micro helicopters. You know, my own Bumblebee helicopter employed this 180 size motor. And later on, you know, when the Blade 120 came out, you know, that used the same motor as well. The Nine Eagles or a blue, I think that's a Blue Arrow helicopter here that I redid the frame. So that's a fiberglass frame, my own landing gear. Also use the same type motor. So these are all DC motors. You know, you can see this one here uses also a brushless motor. Or a Coreless motor, rather, on top of the brushless main motor that drives the main gear, but that also drives a tail bevel gear, you know, to keep the tail lightweight. That's the reason for that. I did this way before this Hirobo came out. Very similar setups, you know, because I was doing all kinds of setups on my helicopters when I was making the Microsoft Micro palm size before any of these companies even were on the map. I was already doing all kinds of setups because I wanted to test every. I don't want to leave any stone unturned, as the saying goes. So I wanted to make sure that I cover all angles. You know, make sure that I do all configurations, and that's just the way I work with all my products. In some other videos, you'll see my table was full of helicopters here, and I still have like. You know, hundreds of these things that I did back in the day. Just to frames, I used to not just make one, but various types of frames, so that I can select the best one, and that way I didn't leave any room for my competitors if there were any. Luckily for me, you know, when I did this, there were no competitors because I was way ahead of the curve there. When the micro helicopter, and so when I left, I left it comfortable. I didn't leave permanently, but I left it temporarily to do my other larger products like the ultralights, microlights, and auto gyros, as I explained in some other video. But these are the motors that, like I said, that I was testing with this tachometer just to get the kV. As you can see, this one has 1800 kV. This one's 4000 kV. And this is how I know, you know, what type of motor I can. This is 2400 kV, even though it's the same as that one. So just because it's the same size motor doesn't mean that it's the same kV. This one is came out at 200 kV, very similar to this 4000 kV from Nine Eagles. You can see the label is still there. Actually, that belonged, I believe, to that helicopter originally when it was in its original form, and very similar to these other ones. This is the Blade 120.